And welcome back to the second part of the tutorial. So what I want to achieve now is to make sure I'm able to press this and reset all of these. So let's exit and come right in here. So I'm going to create a procedure. So I'm going to call that private sub, let's say reset. So inside the private sub reset, I will use a for loop for each txt, because each of my systems start with txt. So let's put them in an array. For each txt, so let's come in here and say txt jeans comma. So let's just speed that up anyway, because that will take some time. Let's speed it up. Right there, guys, those are the lines of codes that I'm going to use to reset the old components. Right, so inside my procedure area, you have all my codes there. This we actually clear all of the we actually disable the text box, and why this one we make sure the checkbox is unchecked. So what I would then do is to come onto the form, double click on the form load right there. Let's call reset. There we go. And the same reset, we will call that inside this very button, the reset button. So that makes life easy for us using a function. So if I run it, there we go, guys. Form load actually called the reset function. So supposing I select anything here and the same thing here, then we can always reset. You see that? Good. So let's take care of the exit. Let's come right inside the exit, double click on the exit, and right there I'm going to declare as follows: div I exit as a dialog result, and I exit equals message box dot show as follows. So let's say confirm if you want to exit. Right, so let me give my system a name, comma, so that would be sales management system. And let's use some of the Visual Basic building function. Let's correct this first. So some of the VB build function, that will be message box. Let's go for message box button dot yes or no, and another one is going to be message box icon. So the icon in this case is going to be the question mark, this very one. Right, now use a selection statement. If I exit equals dialog result dot yes, then we can exit the system. Application dot exit. So that's the exit taken care of. The reason why I've used this is should in case there's a mistake made, the system prompt you to confirm if you want to exit. So let's try that out. Right, so let's click on exit. There we go. Confirm if you want to exit. Oh, you made a mistake. No. confirm if you want to exit. Yes, so that is fine. Now for each of these checkbox here, we have to use each of these checkbox to enable all of this, to enable each text box. So if I double click on that using an if statement, so let's say if dot checked equals true, then txt, I think that's txt James dot text, no, dot enable equals true. Now copy that. Also dot set, no, that should be dot focus. Let's see. Okay, let's say dot text. Let's get rid of the text in there. Equals that. And there. So let's set the focus as well. Dot focus. Right. Else I want all of these disabled. This, copy that, paste that in there, and there'll be 0 in there. Then right, so let's run the very first one and see what's going to happen. Now if I click on this, that enables that, so I can always enter whatever value in there. And if I uncheck, there we go, check. The other thing is I can enter characters there, which I don't want. I only want numbers, so we have to find a way to prevent that from happening. Okay, to prevent the user from entering characters, I'm going to select all of these text box and repeat the same thing for this. Select it all and then go to the events. This one is fine. Yeah. And let's go to properties, go to events, and there let's use, so let's see, we can always use on key press. Let's see, down here. Okay, there we go. We have on key press here, so I'm going to change that to numbers only. There we go. Press enter. Right there, guys, that is it, numbers only. So in here I will then enter as follows. Okay, enter the following. That will prevent the end user from entering any other characters apart from numbers. Okay, let's save and just run it. Okay guys, let's try it out. So click on that and let's enter characters. You hear that? And let's enter numbers. Yeah, that's numbers. Try characters. No. Okay, let's repeat that using visual keyboard so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. We'll check that and we can enter numbers in there. Let's try that out. No, it's not allowed, just numbers. Okay, let's clear it. Clear. Start all over. Characters. You see what I'm talking about? It only allows just numbers, so that's fine. Okay, and that works for all of the text box. So the next thing I want to do now is to complete these other ones. So we come in here, let's come straight to the form, double click on this, and right in there I'm going to use an if statement again to get that sorted. So if that's dot checked equals true, then the text box itself, which is txt dot enable equals true, and let's get rid of the contents in there. Dot text equals clear, and dot set focus. There. Else all of the above, these two will not happen, and this become false, and this remain as 0. Okay, so the same thing that was done for the very first one was repeated for the second one. That's the very first one. So let's try it out before I speed it all up. Okay, let's try out the second one. There we go. That's it. It's not accepting that, only accept numbers. That's fine. Try out the other one. Yeah, that's good. So reset. There. Now what I will do is just speed up the whole process of the rest of the checkbox, and I'll get back to you guys shortly. So stop that from running. Come right here, double click on the third one. Let's speed it up. There we go, guys. We finish enabling and disabling the text box and the checkbox, so it's all working as expected. Now if I run it, this is what you guys will see. There we go. So if I click on any of these, there, but you notice I'm not going to enter anything there, so that's supposed to be an error. In fact, that's an error really. That shouldn't be allowed to happen. Once you click on it, something should be entered, else there's going to be an error. So to take care of that, we're going to use another method entirely known as validation function. So I'm going to exit out of here, and let's select all of these components, all of this text box, select it all, and disable this and this. Repeat the same thing here, there. And what I will now do is to go straight into the properties, and I need a procedure or an event known as validated. There we go. Inside the validated, let's give that a name, enter number, and press enter. There. So right there, let's declare a variable dim txt as text box. Let's say equals sender. Right, there we go. Now if txt dot text equals nothing, then I want the txt dot text, I want us to enter 0 in it, and that's it. That should take care of that, else there will be an error when we carried out the calculation. So if let's save it first and run it again. There we go, guys. So if I click on this and move on to the next one without entering any number in there or any value, you see that will happen. So that takes care of the error that could have happened, because it's likely the sales assistant can end up not entering anything in there, so that's fine. So have a good look at that very lines of code again. Look at it. It's very simple. Make sure you enter, or make sure you create another event. The event is known as validated. Okay, so for now I'm going to call it the end of the second part of this tutorial. I'll see you guys shortly.